Today is great news for the whole gaming space. I mean, whether you are a Call of Duty guy, a Battlefield guy, an Arc Raiders guy, there are a lot of things changing in the FPS space, and I gotta give it to Battlefield here. If it wasn't for them making competition for Call of Duty, I don't think COD would make the changes they just made. So we're gonna talk about everything that is going on in the new Black Ops 7, but also how I feel about it, because there's some things I'm disappointed with and some things I'm excited about. So let's just get into it. First off, they just finished up the beta essentially, and they are putting out that matchmaking update. You know, the big question on everybody's mind is, coming out of the beta, how will matchmaking work in Black Ops 7? Because they were testing the open matchmaking versus closed. Open matchmaking being less skill-based matchmaking. It's more so, you know, what you're paying. And the end result is that they are going to make skill-based matchmaking no longer the norm in Black Ops 7. We are going to, at launch, have open skill base from the get-go. You are going to just jump in, and the default is you search for a match, you get a lobby based on your ping, whether you're the best or you're the worst. There will still be some skill base, so people who are protected bracket, and I say that when I'm thinking of people with disabilities, people maybe who are missing a couple of limbs, whatever the case is, they are going to most likely have protected bracket. But everybody else, it's fair game. That way we have less of this, you know, always competitive, always on, make sure you do your line of Adderall and get on the game. You can play at your skill with everybody. And this just excites me for the fact that I can play with my friends again. Do you know how many times I wanted to play with my little brother or wanted to play with a friend from high school or college, and I can't do it because they literally just get fed up. They're like, I can't play with you because your lobbies are too hard. So this is big news. If you are a gamer, you should be rejoicing. The next thing, persistent lobbies. So they've heard the discussion around persistent lobbies being disbanded, and that we are upset that we constantly jump into a match, and sometimes, like the old COD days, you get into a back and forth with someone on your team, or maybe you get into a back and forth with someone on the enemy team, and you start butting heads, or maybe becoming friends. And as soon as this game's over, you lose them. You will never talk to them again. Back in the day, how it was is, if I become friends with someone in that lobby, I don't have to quickly add them and tell them I'm adding them, and then, you know, hopefully they accept it, and I could stay in their lobby and continue to play with them over and over and over until one of us backs out. That was beautiful. You create rivalries that way. You become friends with that way. I have some of my longest friends from playing online back in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1 that I still play with today. Or at least I tried to with skill-based matchmaking. It made it a little harder, but this will change things. I made those friendships because of persistent lobbies, and persistent lobbies is coming back. Another big W. Aim assist is going to possibly be nerfed. They're not promising it, but they're saying it's a priority of ours to have fair and competitive balance across all input devices at launch. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't even think this is a mouse and keyboard versus controller discussion. I think there are a lot of players who shouldn't be able to hit shots that they are hitting purely because aim assist helps them. I've seen so many clips. I've made videos myself about how strong aim assist is and have shown you how to abuse it. I don't think it should be able to be abused, but if it's in the game, people are going to do it. So now we are at the point where they are finally willing to have that discussion. And I'm going to bring up at the end of this why this is happening, but let's just keep going. The Ricochet anti-cheat. 97% of matches were completely clean of cheaters on day 1. By day 5, that number rose to 98.8%. Now, you might say to yourself, well, how do they know people are cheating if they never get caught? And that's a fair point. But I'm actually leaning towards, and I never feel this way, I'm actually leaning towards believing this for the pure fact that in my time playing this beta, and you tell me if you experience differently in the comment section, please, I did not run into cheaters. I actually didn't run into a single one. Now, I've seen clips of cheaters, don't get me wrong, but in the time that I played, I didn't experience one. And that was both in the closed matchmaking and the open matchmaking. Now, I will say I played way less closed matchmaking and way more open and hopped on the game more. But that's my honest takeaway, was that I saw less cheaters. So you let me know how you felt, but that's what I was seeing. Then looking ahead, they say the purpose of the beta is to test, collect player data, and gather feedback from all of you in real time. We have a ton of information to digest from the past week, and work has begun implementing key improvements and updates for launch. So I gotta say, right, after everything with this beta, there are some big takeaways, right? And they're not going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. So the first thing is that when you look at the gaming space right now, I've tweeted about it a ton. If you haven't seen on my Twitter, you can go check it out. I've tweeted about the fact that the player count for Steam, now this is Steam only, but on Steam, beta was 1/5 of what Battlefield was. And you might say, well, it's only Steam, and I get that. It's a fair point. However, there's a reason those numbers are hidden in other places. Battle.net might be the biggest place on PC for new players, but Steam was the old school players' stomping ground. Still a lot of old school players buy the game on Steam. And if that's not a good enough, reason for you, let's look at the pre-orders. Pre-orders on PlayStation have dropped to number 3 when compared to Battlefield. Battlefield is now the number 1 pre-ordered game on PlayStation, both the Phantom Edition and the normal edition. And Black Ops 7 and its, I forgot what edition, Hardened Edition, Prestige Edition, whatever you want to call it, is 3 and 4. And that's not because more people started actually pre-ordering Battlefield. They actually saw a drop. And it was shown in the statistics that people were canceling their pre-orders left and right because they just were like, this game isn't for me. It wasn't designed for me. I don't want to play it. And that's also a fair argument. Whether skill-based matchmaking bothers you or not, you might not be into this cracked movement, wall jumping, all this other stuff that this game is providing. Now, it's funny because I think this game thought it could cater to both audiences. And I'm a fan of Black Ops 3 and even Advanced Warfare, which is like controversial to say. I didn't like Infinite Warfare, never bought it, never will. But when it comes to those jetpack games, they are completely on one end of the spectrum. And then when it comes to your boots on the ground games, they're on the other end of the spectrum. Even Modern Warfare 3, the latest, movement-based Call of Duty that, not including Black Ops 6, because this is essentially Black Ops 6 DLC, so I'm not including it in this conversation. But Modern Warfare 3, just a couple of years ago, had the most movement. Slide canceling was back. Tac sprint was at its fullest. You had perks to make unlimited tac sprint, all these different things in Warzone. So we saw that, and it catered to still a casual audience at the same time. This feels like it can't make up its mind. A lot of the maps feel like they should have advanced movement with jetpacks, and they don't. So those players aren't happy. But it also is too fast for casual players, so they're not happy. Doesn't really pick an audience and say, we are the game for you. That's a problem. You're trying to cater to too many people. So, skill-based matchmaking's out, persistent lobbies are back, aim assist is being nerfed, and now they're probably going to make some game changes. Now, this is all great news for Black Ops 7 multiplayer. Zombies, the community still is pretty unhappy, and I don't blame them. I played all the way to round 50 for that challenge in the beta. Got my calling card. It was pretty ass. Like, I spammed the trap. I ran my laps around the map, and it was easy. But, like, it still feels like Warzone-ified zombies. And I understand that in order to get the OG experience, we need to do the Easter egg and yada, 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 unlock the runes or whatever, the skulls like Halo. I just don't see getting artifacts to experience a game that we had back in Black Ops 3, that experience being the right move. It should be the core version of the game, not an unlockable, because most people are not going to play to go unlock the version they want to play. They're just not going to. So that's my thoughts on zombies. And the other thing is, when it comes to Warzone, right now, it looks like it's being pushed forward, the update where they're going to bring back the old POIs of Factory and the like Radar Summit, whatever it's called, up by Military Base. They're pushing it forward. They're actually going to possibly launch it with Season 6's Haunting event. Great. That's good news. We've been asking for POI updates every season, and they haven't been doing it. And this whole POI update is recycled content. People are not happy about it. The other thing is they, for the last 6 years, told us, even longer, have told us skill-based matchmaking has been tested thoroughly. We know that it keeps the retention of players. 90% of players play longer because of it. They never did that testing. It's all BS. Ping was not king, as much as they said in the white papers. And this test proved it in Black Ops 7. So now, we still have skill-based matchmaking in Warzone. Just get rid of it. The best Call of Duty BR was Blackout. It did not have skill-based matchmaking. And I say that with a grain of salt, best BR, because it kept me on all day. I never felt like my emotions were being played with because I did better one match and worse another. I was not being manipulated to play the game. I wanted to play the game. Whether I was doing horrible or doing amazing, I wanted to play. I played the hardcore modes. I played the limited time modes with jetpacks. I played the limited time modes with tanks. I played every single mode. I loved it. Warzone, you will catch me in solos, duo quads, or not at all. I don't want to play the other modes. I don't care about the different maps. And you might be a Rebirth player saying, why don't you care about Rebirth? It's not for me. It's not a battle royale to me. It feels more like TDM. Just my personal feeling. And then it all of a sudden becomes a BR. That's cool and all. I like the longer experience. I like the wide open spaces. I like talking with my friends as I'm playing. And you don't get that in big map. I mean, in small map. You get that in big map. So that's my feelings overall. And I think we need to make those changes that are happening for Black Ops 7 right now for Warzone. And we need at least bi-weekly updates to the map. Even if it's small changes, like a house loses a wall in it and it's busted open. And now when you load into the map, that one house will always have an open wall. Or there's a construction happening and a new house is being built and every week it grows a little bit. Just like little things to excite us about the map changing, because it has been boring. And even with all of these changes, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm still more excited for Battlefield 6. Honest to God, like my truth. The Battle Royale is apparently coming out late October, around the 28th. We have so much new stuff. Am I going to play Black Ops 7 and do the camo grind and everything else? Probably. I am probably going to do it. I'll probably even make content on it. We'll see, though. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'll love Battlefield. But Battlefield doesn't really have a good camo grind. Am I going to do it? Probably. Because I want to be ready for this Battle Royale. I want to have my camos. I want to have my guns leveled up. And I'm excited for something new. But now to finish this whole video up, the thing that makes me laugh a little bit is that, and I want you to like the video, because if you agree with me on this, you need to like it. Call of Duty has preached to us that we need this competitive skill-based matchmaking in order for the game to survive. Years of that. And the moment the game feels competition, like we have been feeling the competition for years, they threw up the white flag and said, we'll do whatever you want. Please come back. Please. And it blows my mind that they can't handle competition, but they thought we could. So it's funny to me. But we got a lot of great games coming out in the FPS space. Arc Raiders, Battlefield, now Black Ops 7's shaping up to possibly be some actual fun. I'm excited. I am. And I hope they do something new with Warzone and stop pussyfooting around, to say the least. But, all right, subscribe. We're almost at 40,000 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which is probably going to be a Battlefield video.